Go!
Just hearing the cops there shouting draw, getting really big long strokes in early.
I always find it incredible, the silence in just those few seconds before the start. And then the fury that comes as we ride here on the right-hand side with Oxford Brookes University in the Buck Station. Great course there. We've seen a number of crews really struggle with that little bit of stream as they come past Temple Island, but really you don't want to lose any speed off the start.
Yeah, he had a nice line there. He didn't get too twitchy on the rudder strings there, and already you can see here they've got a nice little early lead. It's a big, strong Brookes crew here. We expect that from Brookes. Richard Spratley and Henry Belhaj-Webb coaching these guys. Big squad of a sort of 85 athletes, so you know they've got the depth, and they're all really hungry guys who fight for it. And that's what we're doing right here. We're already fighting for it and getting that early lead.
It's been incredible how tight some of these races have been over the last few days. Of course, they're coming to the Friday. This is what we expect, really tight racing. We know that some heads are going to roll today and they're going to be some big ones. So an exciting race here unfolding. Just ever so slightly in the lead now is Oxford Brookes University A over the University of Groningen in the Netherlands.
Yeah, you can see them now. They've got this Groningen, a nice tight shot on them actually. They're hanging in there. They look a bit looser and relaxed.
They have such a great pedigree of sweep rowing in the Netherlands. We see generally quite a few Dutch crews come over. Nereus, of course, is one of the big contenders, but Groningen sitting here with Oxford Brookes.
Yeah, we're a bit more familiar with the crews from Amsterdam, aren't we? So this is a bit of this is their sort of second sort of training base, really, isn't it? But it's good to have them here and see what they're doing and pushing this Brookes boat. Essentially, this is Brookes' sort of second crew. Obviously, their top crew in sort of the ladies' plate. This crew was bronze at Bucks, silver at Ghent, second at Marlow, obviously behind their other Brookes crew.
And we're used to seeing such strength come out of Oxford Brookes. I mean, we often talk about them in Australia, in fact, at Sydney University Boat Club, the club to which I belong. You know, this is really a model of what we would like to be. And what do you think the secret to their strength is? I'm
glad you asked me that, actually. I was chatting to Richard Spratley earlier, and I said, how do you develop such a culture of so many people that are committed to winning Henley all the time? And he said that he was committed to it because he was terrified of someone else messing it up. And so he's committed and created this culture, and it's just unstoppable, isn't it? Here, you know, good position here to be in the 8 now, getting sort of a good length, good position on the other crew, so nearly everyone in that boat can see that other crew and man mark, can't they? They can track that crew all the way down the course now to the finish.
And there's really something about having a culture of 8s rowing, I think, as well. It creates excitement. And, you know, rather than coming out and getting bashed in the single or the pair on a daily basis, having a club that really revolves around the 8s with a real focus on 8s rowing, I think creates some excitement as well.
Yeah, I mean, 8s are cool, aren't they? I mean, it's like a football team, or it's like, you know, scrumming down, that sort of thing. It's you know, I love sort of single sculling, but it's a bit of a lonesome sport. Whereas this, you've got 9 people in that boat all giving it some, and actually, I think five of those are actually first years, so they're going to be here back year and year after again. So this is a great first race for the race here from these guys.
Yeah, we can see that great shot from above. They're just so tidy in that Oxford Brookes crew. Groningen, of course, doing a fantastic job there. They've still got contact here, so there's everything to play for, but Oxford Brookes is absolutely one of the crews to beat in this event. Looks like they're just making a move now. Oxford Brookes just breaking contact. Saw a little bit of overlap with the stern and the bow of the 2 crews, but looks like they're going for a little push here and starting to open up some clear water.
Yeah, this is a really good place to do that, isn't it? Because you just came up to Remnant Club, which is that tent on the left there. And actually this can be a little bit of a quiet spot as you get by the trees, and the towpath's quite narrow, so there's not that many spectators. So this is somewhere where you can really sort of kill off your opposition, and then you get into the grandstands where it gets noisy again, and that's where people find their second wind. So they're doing a good job here.
Oxford Brookes sitting on 35 strokes a minute with a 1-length lead over University of Groningen from the Netherlands, currently rating 34 strokes a minute. I mean, it's a little bit demoralising in the 8, isn't it, when you can just feel the presence of their crew start to move away, and you think, gosh, we've got such a big task now if we want to get back on par. It's such a mental game, this match racing. It's
so tough for the eights, yeah. I mean, you're relying on the coxswain, so he's obviously got an eye down the course and you can see where the other crew is, and he might be saying, you know, we're closer than we actually are, just to try and keep the spirits up, but that's a difficult distance now to claw back.
Yeah, and they're starting to get a little bit of wash as Oxford Brookes moves into an even more commanding lead. They're coming up towards the enclosures now. Very clinical performance here from Oxford Brookes, doing just exactly what they need to do in order to make it through to the all-important semi-final tomorrow.
It's a strong performance, isn't it? You'd expect that from Brookes. It's a very strong rhythm here. Looking down the boat, you can see they're all moving very well together. You can see those muscling bursting out the top of the lycra and all that sort of stuff. They've clearly been doing a lot of work in the gym.
Yeah, they're sitting on about mid-30s, 34, 35 strokes a minute, but really Oxford Brookes is making it look quite easy, but we can see a bit of a push here.
Groningen are going for it again, aren't they?
Yeah, last-ditch attempt, I think. You know, it's got to throw it all out there and see what happens. They've just gotten a little bit of overlap. And the coxswain in the leading crew has to be careful here because they can't necessarily see any pushes that are coming, so they're probably relying on the stroke man to give them some feedback as to what's happening, but I think they know that they're comfortable and that this race is almost over. And the win there in the Temple Challenge Cup to Oxford Brookes University A over the University of Groningen from the Netherlands.